Nice. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today it is going to be the first official test drive of the manual swapped E36. I'm very excited. It's going to be very loud. Apparently, I didn't catch this on camera, but so you guys are probably going to hear a very loud thudding noise, like da 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 da. So what it turns out is I have a lightweight flywheel, which doesn't dampen the vibrations of the whole transmission a lot. I didn't know it was a thing. I got the kit because I would like to push this towards a performance car, but I didn't know that there were other side effects like very, very loud noise. Now, me personally, this isn't going to be a daily driver, so I'm not 100% worried about it. I don't really care. It just kind of depends on what it sounds like, but some people say it'll go away. Some people say it's stuck with you for life, or just change out the flywheel to a dual mass instead of a single lightweight flywheel. I don't care, really. So we're gonna test it out. But you're probably gonna hear a lot of noise. I don't have any of the interior put together, as you guys can see. And right here, I can literally see my garage floor from right here. So, kind of cool, but everything else is installed. I have some spare parts with me just in case I break down, which hopefully that shouldn't happen because I don't have all the spare parts I need. Anyway, guys, I am overly excited to finally get to test this car out because a month and a half. If you guys watched the last video, I know it's the long one. Please watch it. 52 minutes, I believe. A month and a half of work has gone into building up this car, from not only buying all of the wrong parts, struggling to put the transmission in, having to go to a junkyard, having to buy more parts, install more parts, break more stuff, and I finally got the car running, to then, which is the part I didn't show, I heard that thudding noise and I thought something was wrong. So then I undid literally everything that I had spent a month and a half doing. I took out the exhaust, the drive shaft, and the transmission. Fortunately, all the clutch pedal and stuff, all that got to stay, and the wiring, so I got kind of lucky. I took the transmission out. Turns out, it's just because I have a lightweight flywheel. There's nothing I can do about it. So unfortunately, I didn't know that sooner, but you know, you live and you learn. But I'm excited to drive this car because, well, month and a half to manual swap it. It's been longer than that since I've driven it. So let's get on the road. And hopefully, I'm kind of nervous. We're gonna drive to a gas station first. Hopefully I don't stall the car. We'll find out very fast if I know how to drive this thing. But good news is the e-brake works. I didn't think it wouldn't, but it needs to be tightened for sure. Okay, let's drive. Also gonna have to learn how to drive this car because since I have a lightweight flywheel in it, apparently the car will rev up much faster. So what I'm used to doing in the E90 will not be the same in here. So if this car sounds like an angry go-kart, that's probably going to be exactly what it is. Yeah, I have to learn how to drive it. It's gonna be very loud in here. Sorry guys, I do apologize, but honestly, I'm just very excited to be driving this thing. It sounds horrible. I'm also kind of nervous. So I am also in the process of breaking in the clutch. So that is something I wasn't really aware you had to do, but now that I know you have to do it, essentially for the first 500 miles of driving this car on the brand new clutch, we're gonna be breaking it in. So there's no womping on it, there's no crazy anything. Like, I'm not gonna be drag racing this thing anytime soon. So unfortunately, that's what we're gonna be stuck doing. It's just generic basic driving for the first 500 miles, which is kind of a lot. But, you know, to make sure everything is working and to make sure that I didn't fuck anything up in the install process, it's worth it. And also, the whole clutch kit was very expensive. So I'm excited to say that everything seems to be working so far. So I do have to get used to the new gear ratios. I only have 5 speeds instead of the E90, which has 6 speeds. So it's gonna be a little weird. Like, I'm going 25 and I'm at 2,000 RPM already in third. So that's a little different. So essentially the whole process, I have to relearn how to drive this car essentially completely, because I have no idea what anything is like to drive in this car. Yeah, so it's very different from the E90. I'm going about 64 right now, and I'm at almost 3,500 RPM, which seems very high and a little bit concerning. But in the E90, I'd be in 6th gear by now, probably doing like 2,000 RPM. So I'm not sure if something's up, if the RPM should be this high. But I mean, the car feels fine. And now that I've been driving it for a second, I think maybe it's just everything still needs to learn how to work together. But I'm going the speed limit and nobody's trying to pass me. I don't know if they're scared or what, but I know I am. I just got passed by a Jeep. I'm gonna have to sell the car now. Damn. I really like this thing too. All the temps seem good. Engine's not overheating. We do need to get gas, which is kind of the whole test drive, is to get it gas. Maybe a Red Bull. But aside from that, we're getting gas. Yeah, I'm sitting at about 70 miles an hour right now, sitting at about 3,600 RPM. The car sounds, I would say the car sounds really bad. I don't know if it's because there's no interior, so it's essentially just like, I mean, I can literally see the road passing under me. I don't know if that's what it is, or if I did something wrong. I think I need to triple check the exhaust headers to the exhaust, because I feel like the noise is coming out a lot farther from the front than it should be. It should be coming out the back. But then again, I have a giant fucking hole right here. I can literally feel the wind coming up from the ground. Actually, that feels kind of nice. But I can literally feel the wind coming up right now. I want to slow down just a little bit. Yeah, I can feel the wind coming up from the hole right now, which is great. Good news, I guess. I'm going fast enough to create wind in the car, so I don't need the AC on. But I mean, it seems to be running fine. I think what it is it's all the noises fucking with my head, because it doesn't sound great. I don't hear any exhaust from the back. I literally only hear it from this fucking hole right here. And so I think it's putting in my head that there's something wrong. So that I'm not 100% sure about. I'm just looking for the closest gas station so that I can fill up on gas and kind of double, triple check everything. I'm trying not to go too far away from home for obvious reasons, because if the car breaks down, well, that sucks. But I can say, the nice thing is, all that flywheel noise, literally after I started driving, it went away. I don't know if you guys could hear it in the video, but I'll put up a clip right here. And it was hella loud. I put the car into first, second, like it was really loud. And even when the car was in neutral, it was making the same noise, but a lot lighter, a lot less noticeable. But apparently, according to a bunch of people on Facebook, it is because I have a lightweight flywheel, which I can see by being in first, it revved up a lot. Like, I'm used to driving the E90. It's a very friendly car to learn how to drive manual on. I've had no issues. I love the car. but I've driven it for like almost 30,000 miles, so I have a good feeling of what it's supposed to feel like. I know the car pretty well, and so I tried to do that in this car, and in first, I just immediately shot the revs up. Now, yes, lightweight flywheel means the engine accelerates faster because there's less rotational mass on it, and yes, I don't know how to drive this car. So, literally, the coolest shit to think about is that I did all of this. I did have help from a couple buddies, which was major help. But we found a gas station, boys, and it's a Texaco. Yes, I did shift into neutral. Not really sure why. I think I just kind of hesitated to shift there. Yeah, you can hear the noise really loud now. $3.99 for gas. Fuck. Cool, so now we're in neutral, we're parked. Hold the e-brake up, car shouldn't move. Look at that. Holy shit, that's so cool. Well, this car is making an assload of noise right now, and I'm getting stared at by people for reasons unknown to me. But I'm gonna put some gas in it, and we're gonna take a little break. I'm gonna assess the car. We're gonna see if anything went wrong in the time that it took me to go from here to there. I think we've been driving for what, about 17 minutes so far. So we're not far from home. I do smell a slight burning smell. I do smell burning. Let me check on that real quick. Okay, checking under the car. Let's see what we got. I see no leaking fluid, which is amazing, except for the water up there. Or maybe that's power steering fluid. Oh shit. I see no fire though. Everything seems to be good. We got a little random fluid on the ground. Oh, fuck. It is power steering fluid. Okay, so that'll be an update for another video. So we are leaking power steering fluid. Kind of looks like a lot. So I assume either the junkyard steering rack that I bought doesn't work, which would be crazy, or maybe my zip ties that are holding on the rubber boot just aren't tight enough. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna have to double check, because that is not good. That's the whole reason I installed the new steering rack. Now it is from a Z3, which is cool, but if it's leaking, that's not cool. So that is green fluid, so I know that's power steering fluid. Fortunately, it's not oil, which is insane because this is a BMW. So that's a fun fact. We're idling pretty low. I just fill it up with gas. Hopefully it fixes itself. I'm not sure. Really, the good news is so far, the car seems to be running well. I wouldn't say it's running great. I don't know how to drive it once again. It's idling at about 600 RPM, so maybe that's fine. Maybe it actually is probably fine there. I think it's really just the noises are fucking me up. I think that's what it is. I'm hearing everything coming from the car. So I'm getting literally the most feedback I could get. So, okay, I actually don't know if it's idling well because I just turned on the AC and the RPMs dropped and they hesitated for a second and went back up. So, I actually have no idea what's going on. This is the lifestyle I chose when I bought a BMW. You know, my fault, but also one of the coolest cars I've ever owned so far. I'm 23 right now, and maybe next year I'll have a E30. That'd be pretty cool. But okay, so all the noises seem to have calmed down. So we're gonna drive back home now and conclude our test drive. And let's see our final thoughts. Yeah, I don't know, it's been really weird. It's idling very low. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the work, unfortunately, is not finished with the E36. But it shifts fucking great. I can't lie about that. Even in the E90, that shit is, like, the E90 feels amazing to drive. But this shit, it bites right away. There's no, damn. It does feel really, although it's tweaking on me a little bit. It's being a little weird. Not really fucking with it too heavy right now. But it feels so good to shift. Like, damn. I do rock with that. So there it is. We have just tested our brand new manual swapped E36. And I guess the last question is, what are my thoughts? And to start off, I'm just ecstatic that this is even a possibility, that it has been done. I just drove 20 total miles without the car exploding yet, and everything seems good. Smell of burning rubber, which might just be normal for the break-in process. Lots of extra noises. Interior's not put back in. Idling like shit. That is an actual big concern that we will need to fix. That and the power steering fluid that is leaking on the floor. So that is kind of the main goal. We need to figure out why it's idling like ass, and we need to figure out why it's leaking power steering fluid. But aside from that, if that fixes the issues, I didn't see or hear anything that was like a major red flag to me. The idling, yes, while we were at a stoplight, we were waiting to go, the car was dipping to like 300 RPM and like really chugging along, which is obviously not great. That's not good news for us, and that's not what we want. So we need to figure out why that's happening. So after we figure out why that's happening, we'll work on the power steering fluid, because obviously it wasn't leaking a lot, but it is enough to be like, okay, there was a problem. It wasn't a couple drops, but also it was a little pool at the gas station, which we had been at for 5 minutes. So that is something we need to work on. I haven't noticed anything in the driveway, but that might be because we haven't been able to drive the car. So all in all, I would say that my experience with this, although a little nerve-wracking, right? Lots of loud noises, things that I've never noticed before in this car. I still need to learn how to drive it. I'd say it was a pretty positive experience. It wasn't perfect, right? I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. But I'm very happy that like this was done. Like something like this, like me and a couple buddies doing all of this, like swapping out an automatic transmission from a almost 30-year-old car and putting a new one in, and I was able to drive it 20 miles. Now, like I said, it wasn't the best 20 miles, but I did notice that the flywheel chatter did seem to stop as I was driving. So it's very, very loud in the car when you're idling, when you're starting to go. But it seems like once you're driving, especially in 5th gear, I noticed that like as I'm cruising, there was just no noise. Aside from the loud sounding go-kart that my car sounds like, and I haven't figured out why that is. I think I need to check the headers to the exhaust bolts. They might just not be tight enough. They are rusty as hell, so that might be it. Maybe they didn't go on perfectly, but I think there's way too much noise coming from the engine bay. So that is something we need to figure out. But all in all, pleasant experience. I just put my leg against the exhaust. That hurt. But I'm very happy to be done with the manual swap. Now it's time to figure out what all the other issues are. And if you guys enjoyed this video, like always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I know this one was a lot shorter than the last one, but the last one took a month and a half to make. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This one took me about an hour. But that's the whole point of this video. First test drive with the manual swapped E36. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.